Campaign 2018 is sponsored by Wisconsin Hospital Association, Wisconsin Counties Association, Wisconsin Realtors Association, Marshfield Clinic Health System, AARP Wisconsin, and Campaign 2018 partner Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
Do you think that's not something you guys are going to be able to do in the next budget?
This off the top of my head, like I kind of said, it sounded like beyond what we did this last budget, you'd have to do about another $135 million. Mm-hmm. So that's now you're talking, a big chunk of change. So I think you're going to have to get some fresh fiscal numbers to see whether or not you can pull that off. But I mean, if we can get back there, great. But I just get nervous when we kind of talk about those things, not knowing where we are financially, fiscally.
Would you like to see more details from Walker as to how he thinks it ought to be paid for? He hasn't really said.
No, I know he hasn't. And, Evers is throwing around 10% income tax cuts, and there's all kinds of stuff flying around right now in the gubernatorial, but I just, you just don't want, I told any other senator to talk to me, I said, we gotta take a look, time out, let's see where we end up after the elections are over and after we get some numbers from Lang, so.
So what do you think about the tax cut that Evers is throwing out there?
Again, I don't know how you pay for it, and he apparently doesn't care, so it sounds like some of this stuff is coming down to, commitments being made at the end of a campaign, and I don't know if they can live up to it, or even if he even knows what he's talking about. So, yeah.
Is there
thoughts on funding for county transportation aids, municipal, the boost that Governor Walker is seeking? Is that something you think you could?
Yeah, I think that's real. I think it was $55 million, and then another $100 million that would be directed towards the counties. Yeah, and that's actually where there's a lot of pressure. I think for a lot of legislators back home in the district is when you talk to the towns or you go to the county board and specifically their transportation committee, and they're saying, we have this, and this project that needs to be completed. We're behind on one already. We need more revenue. So it's not about that bigger discussion that I was kind of having about the majors in southeastern Wisconsin. It's about we need X amount of dollars to fund these road projects that are right around the corner. So I think that is a commitment you can live up to, though. Yeah.
Is there anything in addition to Kimberly-Clark that you want to take up in that lame duck session?
The only thing I've talked to the speaker about is just timing on coming in November, and it being specific to Kimberly-Clark and the bill that they already passed. That's it. I literally have not spoken to him about any other issues. I will say this, he has brought up the idea of maybe a day in December as well, but again, no further discussion, and I am trying to avoid that discussion because I don't want to go down the path of cracking this thing open and then suddenly you've got all this stuff flying around. So I have purposely said I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is November and the Kimberly-Clark project.
So the December day would be a continuation of the Kimberly-Clark session or some other?
No, I think it would be a separate standing extraordinary session. Now, what that call would look like or what it would include, that has not been defined, not been discussed, not been debated or negotiated.
Are you open to that, coming back for a second?
I'd be open to it. That's what I told him. I said, at some point after the election, let's sit down and see if there aren't things. And some of this stuff might be dogs and cats, stuff that's not very exciting. So, I don't know what he has in mind, but he did bring the subject up with me. So.
He at one point said he'd like to see you guys take up that pre-existing conditions bill that the Assembly passed a while back. Is that something you guys might look at?
I wouldn't rule it out because obviously it's generated a lot of heat during this campaign and the election cycle, and but I know I got members that probably are not on board, which is one of the reasons that it wasn't something that we tackled at the end of session. So.
What are your concerns with that?
Mandate, healthcare mandate. So, yeah.
obviously think Dale Koyenga is vulnerable. How do you feel about some of these things that they're saying about him? And do you think that's...
Well, now we're 3 weeks away from the election, so I told Dale, just keep doing what you're doing, which is the door-to-door, and work the district hard. We're kind of getting to that point where even, trying to forecast or predict how some of these races is going to be difficult. But like I said, Vukmir got 73% 4 years ago. It's a Republican seat, and even if you may have a few suburban women that might not show up or are still irritated with Trump, they're looking at Trump numbers in that seat. I still think he's in a really good position to win that election. So.
Do you think he was drunk that night on the floor?
I don't know. I have not seen any video, and I have no idea kind of where that came from. The only thing I've seen is the actual direct mail piece. So I don't know how Senator Shilling can be as bold as to make that statement today. I think it's ridiculous and outrageous what she said, and she has no proof of anything. So, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Campaign 2018 is sponsored by Wisconsin Hospital Association, Wisconsin Counties Association, Wisconsin Realtors Association, Marshfield Clinic Health System, AARP Wisconsin, and Campaign 2018 partner Milwaukee Journal Sentinel.